Hi everybody, my name is Dean. I want to talk today to you guys about abusive relationships and why people stay. I'm a creator of a page called Mental Health Open Discussions and several groups. Um, I'm an advocate of mental health and support and talking about it, ending the stigma. One of the things that I want to talk to you guys today was in regards to why people stay, or for some reasons, why people stay in abusive and toxic relationships. I know there's a stigma behind it, and I know that people will instantly assume that somebody stays in a relationship because they're scared of their own safety. Um, and a lot of times that is true. That is why people will stay. But there's more to it that we need to look at. Um, Sometimes the relationship is not physically abusive. Sometimes it's very emotional. For the person that's in that relationship, um, whether it be emotional or just toxic, there is a fear a lot of times, and I know this was for me, of the unknown. If I leave this person, I'm going to have to do this on my own. Can I do this on my own? Will people still, will I find a boyfriend or a girlfriend that's going to love me for who I am? Um, am I good enough? Another reason that people will stay is because they're afraid of getting into another relationship and being judged on their past or who they are. You know, one of our biggest things in life and why people don't talk or why people don't, you know, come out about what's happened to them or the relationships they're in or what they've been through is a fear of judgment. And I have to say that word judgment is very true. For many people, even the strongest of us and who think it's not a big deal will not talk because of judgment, right? So when somebody stays in a toxic relationship, let's just leave physical abuse out and let's just talk about the emotional aspect of it and the mental abuse staying in a relationship. There's so much, and when the longer you're with somebody, it's, you know, I hate to use this saying, but it's like a piece of furniture in your house. You never get rid of it because it's part of the house. It's what you're used to. It's what you see every day. Well, relationships can be like that. You know, you may not be happy in that relationship, but you don't think somebody else is going to love you. And if that person is abusing you, your partner is abusing you mentally or emotionally, they can make you believe that nobody else would want you. So, you know, before we go ahead and say to somebody, well, if it's that bad, just leave, we have to look at the whole aspect. And it can be a combination of things. There could be physical abuse, there could be sexual abuse, there could be emotional and mental abuse, right? We tend to, as humans, when we love somebody, we think a lot of times it's the only person that we're going to ever love, or nobody's going to love me the way that my partner does. And I'm going to give you an example. I was married for 18 years. We started young, and we were not abusive with each other, but we outgrew each other, and it became very, very toxic. After 18 years, we split, and I was devastated. It took me good 3 years to believe in myself and believe that I can be loved. I'm going to be good enough for somebody else. My fear was it was change. It was the fear of change. I know that I've been through a lot in my life. My ex-wife knew that. How am I going to explain this to somebody else? Will they judge me for it? So a lot of times we stay in something that we're comfortable with for fear that nobody else will accept us. Now I am in have an amazing relationship. She supports me in everything I do, and I now am able to look back and say, "Oh." But if anybody came to me at that time and said, "Oh, Dean, you need to get out of that relationship," and that I would have said, "I can't. I don't know how," because now you've got splitting of bills, you've got houses, you've got children, you've got that fear keeps us in toxic relationships. So we need to think before we go to somebody, a friend, a family member, and say, "Oh, just get out." We need to look at the whole picture of why they're staying. We need to gently help them realize that they can be loved. You know, you may have to go through a few relationships to figure it out, you know, but there is always the aspect of abuse. When it comes to physical abuse and addictions, the partner who is an addict, a lot of times will use self-pity or use your emotions against you. Um, for instance, they'll be, it's your fault that I'm doing this, or please don't leave me. I can't do it without you. I'm going to commit suicide. I'm going to hurt myself. I can't, I can't live. Sometimes we got to be careful of that. I mean, it could be true, but that's not yours to own. That is their feelings. Say to them, I will support you in your sobriety. I will support you in getting help. Um, but right now, our relationship's on hold. If you want to be and stay with that person, fair enough. I understand that. But give yourself that separation between them and have them focus on themselves. Don't let them worry about your relationship. Don't let them, worry about what's going to happen with your relationship with them. Only tell them to worry about the recovery. You're there to support them. That could be enough encouragement for them to get the help they need. Um, and then at the end of the day, when they've grown in themselves and become sober, maybe they'll realize that that relationship was toxic and they'll move on. There's so many things to a relationship, and it's not just always about, oh, just leave. It's, you might as well talk to a wall, because somebody who's in that situation at that moment really isn't going to listen to that, because their heart and their minds are on the line. So we need to encourage people to worry about themselves and don't take somebody else's on. It's not your fault that your partner has a drinking or an addiction problem or is abusive or is mentally or emotionally or physically abusive. It's not your fault. It's something that unfortunately the partners that are being abused take on themselves. I can sit here until I'm blue in the face, and I know people right now that are going through this will say, yeah, I know, but it's not that easy. I know that. I know it's not easy, but one step at a time. It might be that one person that you talk to that might put things into perspective. But we as society need to stop telling people just leave. It's not that simple. Anyways, guys, I wanted to discuss that. I want to bring awareness about abusive relationship and why people tend to stay. And I want to send much love out to all of you. We are here to support you and one another. Much love. Thanks, guys.